Okay, guys, my friend Kid back again. Um, Moving on once again to the recaps for last week, and we take it to Green Lantern, the animated series. Um, this was episode 15, entitled Reboot. So, the basis of this episode, guys, is now that Hal is an honor guard. He's pretty much been promoted in a sense. He he goes. You see him dealing. He goes with another fellow Lantern to deal with once again some more Manhunters, and Tomar Ray actually makes his first appearance. It was really cool to see him, and Hal gets along pretty well with Tomar. He's kind of strict and direct to get to the point. He's really direct, and he's taking his training as an honor guard. Really serious. Uh, and they deal with the Manhunters, and they pretty much deal with them as well. Once again, three robots awaken just like on Earth, and Tomare and Hal have to deal with them. Pretty much, they barely escape. Realize that they can't do it alone. They can't defeat six Manhunters. They barely defeated those three. So they return back to Oa, and the Guardians assure, basically, the whole thing. The Guardians assure the Lanterns, Hal and them, that the Manhunters should not be are not being strategically planted on other around the galaxies. They do not allow they don't allow Hal to assemble a team to map the Manhunters, temples, and everything like that. So Hal is finally he Hal pretty much is like, what, I this is true. And even Tomare actually backs him up. Tomar backs him up, and they pretty much says, okay, we'll let you assemble a small team. So his first recruit is pretty much, who do you think? Of course, Kilowog. However, he he doesn't seem to really be interested in Hal's offer, uh, and Hal's like, why not? Like, and then Kilowog gives this whole speech about what happened in the first half of the season, and uh, he wagers a bet. Hal offers a bet: if he can take on Kilowog's best student and beat him, then Kilowog has to join him. And so pretty much Kilowog is like, okay. So Kilowog introduces his. We are introduced to another first appearance of Kilowog's. Suppose his best student is recruit Chip, like this squirrel-like Green Lantern, and Hal just gets embarrassed. He just gets embarrassed by. He just shows you it's not the size of the dog, but it's the, you know, that old saying. It's the size. It's the bite of the dog, basically. And Chirp just makes short work. And it's funny because he puts him in like an arm bar, and Hal's like, get him off. He's tapping out. He's tapping out. No mas, no mas. Get him off. And that was really funny. So pretty much, Kilowog still was like, you know what, he was gonna join anyway. So that was fun. I guess Kilowog knows. Him and Hal make a good team, so he'll join. Um, Later on, they go to the ship, the Interceptor, because that was another thing Hal asked for, and they're really upset to find out that Aya is no longer a part of the programmed into the ship. So, and she's replaced by this program called Lanos. It stands for light speed astronomical navigation operation system. I think that was what he said. And they just don't like it because he's like flying them all around, all crazy. And they Hal tells him to locate Aya, and we find Aya, and she's about literally almost she's in a science building, and they're pretty much about to, like, I guess, dissect her, pretty much pretty much. And Hal and them pretty much is like, you know what, screw that. So what they do is they take the flash drive, like a flash drive of, basically the personality of Lanos, take it out, go inside. Hal pretty much is Hal's pretty much confronted by, he Hal, there's a guard standing duty, and I'm forgetting what the lantern was, but I've seen him around in other. And Kilowog pretty much is, uses his status, and Hal gets around, and then he gets inside and he talks to another lantern. His name was Chanelos. Correct me, guys, on the names, guys. I'm so bad with some of these lanterns names. Um, and he uses Chirp to get inside and extract Aya's personality pod from her body, and take it out, and they get her and put her in the interceptor, and they're confronted by Tomare, who says, he's detected another signal. They go, where active manhunters are, but they get Aya, they reactivate Aya, and she immediately asks where Razor is. So it kind of shows you, like, there's a little bit of she, and Hal tells him he's sure to turn up, like he'll eventually turn up sometime, um, and they pretty much go to where they are. The lanterns realize that the manhunters, they're at a manhunter graveyard that we saw in the first episode, and they starting to detect pulses of, robots being activated, and they go inside and they feel like you see them being, like, manufactured, and some of them are being rebooted, and they start to fight. um, and that's where Tomare basically he traces antimatter signal in the building as well, so we all know what that to mean. And they're soon located by, manhunters assembled in the factory. They fight, and pretty much that's when they are pretty much uh they pretty much run into the presence of the anti-monitor, who confirms them. He's pretty much bringing the manhunters back into space, and he's going to reduce every planet to antimatter so he can feed off of their energy and things like that. And the anti-monitor shoots a powerful blast, and the heroes barely dodge their attacks. And Hal orders Aya to fire at the anti-monitor full blast, but it doesn't even scratch the dude. And the launchers are just flying with the interceptor, and he's just anti-monitor is just blasting until Hal creates a energy shield, construct shield, and but unfortunately, anti-monitor's blast is just too strong, and we just see Hal just encased himself in a bubble. But Kilowog and Tomare stare in horror, and Hal is just engulfed in antimatter, and he just disintegrates. And that's how the episode ended. And that right there just was like, wow, just showing they made the anti-monitor come off very, very intimidating in this episode. They just showed, like, it's going to take more than just, you know, three lanterns and just three rings, pretty much the power of willpower to deal with this guy. We all should know what the anti-monitor is about. So this was a good episode. It does make you wonder what's next to come. Next week's episode is entitled Steam Lantern, and looking forward to that episode. Just looking forward to that. I'm looking more forward to episode 17, where we get to see more of the Blue Lantern Corps, and of course episode 18 called Prisoner of Sinestro. Sinestro makes his appearance in this show. But other than that, you guys tell me what you thought about this episode as well. As always, if you missed this episode, I will provide a link where you can watch the episode, no charge, no nothing like that, for free. And other than that, this is Mount Vernon Kid saying peace and love. Stay tuned. And moving on to the next, which is Young Justice.